It's tough to win in the Premier League coming from behind, but to do so in the manner you did must be incredibly satisfying.
Yeah, look, they're a very good side, and what you know with Villa is that they have a level of performance that rarely drops. You know, it's pretty consistent, and we knew that's what was going to be required today, and it was, it was a tight first half. We had to kind of match it with them in that area. Obviously, disappointing for them to score. But after that, we got other gears in us, and we showed that in the second half.
Your manager has said you're not just judged on your goals, but you must be really pleased to get the 2 you did today.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's been a few games without one now, so been trying to get that goal, and I managed to get 2 today. So buzzing with it.
It was an incredible second half performance. What did you do to put that in?
I think we're stuck with it. I think a few times this season we've gone to go down, and I think against Palace we went to go down and we didn't quite react in the right way. And I think today we did just that. Like I said, we've done it a few times this season, and we always believe we can score many goals with the way that we play. So it all came together today in the second half, and it was a great result.
What needed to change after a first half that didn't go your way?
I think just adapting a bit to the way that they was playing. It was quite difficult in the first half, but obviously at half-time we had time to regroup and discuss what we can do better, and I think we exploited that in the second half.
Every time we've won here, we've suffered heavily for 90 minutes. We thought, well, usually in the second half a little bit of space opens up. It does, but it opens up for both teams, and it was an amazing cross from Son, 1-1, and then this place got loud, probably as loud as I've heard it as an away player.
When you are losing, you have to try to get one step forward, more or less, trying to change again the result. But we know how difficult it is against Tottenham, and could happen like that. Of course, for me, the 4-1 is tough result, but the match we played, I think, was more or less in our mind, in my expectation before the match, winning, drawing or losing.
You need to still work hard in that first half. You need to draw the energy out of the opposition. You can't just wait for the second half. And like I said, I thought we did that. It was a real arm wrestle. They obviously scored from a scrum, and we had to sort of rebound from that. And I thought we held our nerve and got on top in the second half. That was a joke, by the way. So.
You've had your injury challenges as well going into the game. A couple more today with Christian Romero injured and Richarlison. Any early news on those two?
No, obviously Richie felt his hamstring, and Romero got a knock in that challenge. So, Romero's a pretty tough cookie, so for him to come off, I'd suggest he's sore. But, we'll just have to deal with what we deal with. We already sort of had a couple of injuries anyway. So the good thing is, Benny Davis comes in, and we've got guys who can come in and do a job for us, not just a job for us, but play outstandingly for us, and we're going to need that.
Well, let's start by talking about resilience, because over the last couple of seasons, since Ange Postecoglou took over at Spurs, they've won 34 points from losing positions. Only Manchester City have won more, and they're above Liverpool, Aston Villa, and then West Ham a little bit further back. You could look at it and say, well, there's a problem there's a problem in conceding first, but that would feel churlish after a 4-1 win. And when you look at the company that they're in as well, the fact that they're up there with Manchester City and Liverpool.
Especially after the Crystal Palace result last weekend, which was a disappointing one, and then to beat Manchester City in the Carabao Cup, and then today to be 1 down and come back in the manner they did. I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming at half-time. I thought Aston Villa were very comfortable. It looked like the team was, maybe if anyone was going to get another goal, it would have been with them. But second half, they showed energy. They lost a couple of players. He brought on Ben Davies, who showed a lot of experience, and obviously was influential in that first goal. And then the ball, I think, obviously from Son is just beautiful, delicious pass into the box. You get one, and all of a sudden momentum. John McGinn touched on it. The crowd were up, and it's a difficult place to play once they start to get their tails up. They've got some good footballers in that team. Kulusevski was obviously heavily involved for Solanke's goal, and he's in great form at the moment. Played a brilliant ball for that. And they just look like a good side second half, but consistency is going to be the key. You can't have the performances like last weekend against Crystal Palace and then have that today, or the one when they beat West Ham. They've got to find that middle ground where they get more wins, because they've certainly got potential in the team.
Yeah, we're quick to criticise Spurs, obviously Spursy or whatever, but they showed a great reaction today. 1 alone against a good Villa team. They showed a bit of steel, a bit of quality, pace, good squad. Manager made good substitutions. No, listen, we have to give Spurs plenty of credit for today's second-half performance. Outstanding.
One of those substitutions was bringing Son off on 55 minutes, which is...
The lads were really critical of that, I thought. No, but Son wasn't happy.
But he wasn't happy, and that's a huge call to bring Son, especially after he just put that ball in for Brennan Johnson
but he's
to
just
score.
come back from injury as well. But obviously you're thinking it's 1-1. You're making a big call there, but it worked out well. Obviously the manager knows the players. You trust the players to come off the bench. And Son was obviously not happy being taken off. But again, we go back to it's a squad game. He had to spit his dummy out a little
I didn't
bit.
like it, to be honest, because Richarlison comes on. What are you trying to, like you said, he comes on, makes the goal in his position. And he's trying to protect him, and I just thought it was uncomfortable to watch, to be honest. Morgan Rogers came off. That was the one that probably changed the game, if anything, because once he'd gone off, the two forwards for Aston Villa didn't really get that momentum and understanding together, and they really missed him.
Dominic Solanke would say that he was one of the most significant game changers in that match with 2 goals there. But the fact that they paid the money for him over the summer, and it's taken him a while, but he will go to bed and sleep well tonight, you'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. As strikers do when they score goals, it's confidence. It's what it gives them. And off the back of a very good season last year for Bournemouth, where he scored a lot of goals. Everything that you're getting from him. We know about his pressing actions and how active he is. That's one good thing, but a striker needs to score goals. So lovely little diagonal run and a lovely composed finish.
A little bit of Dalglish.
Yeah.
Like me at Kenny.
Yeah.
A little dink.
Yeah, really composed. Sometimes that moment just comes to you at the last second. I think the keeper might make a little bit of his mind up, but he's composed enough to take it on well.
And it's a reminder that we always say football, the hardest part of football is scoring goals, putting the ball in the back of the net. So he'll sleep a lot better tonight. Huge boost for his confidence.
And a huge boost for Tottenham, as you say, coming off the defeat in the Premier League last weekend, but also following up their victory over Manchester City, which
I love this,
will have taken a
watch
bit
him.
out of them in
Tielemans tries to
midweek.
grab him, he's pulling it back, and he still gets into the box, shows that desire. And there the goals, getting that 6-yard box.
What Spurs were brilliant at today, they're pressing, really pressing well. And the pace and the quality, very simple. It's a simple game at the end of the day, isn't it? No, it is. You do it well, you do it at pace, very effective, and he gets a little tap in there.
We need to talk about Aston Villa as well, because their form has wobbled slightly, having started the season incredibly well. The last 3 games have not gone as well for them. They got the draw against Bournemouth, they were beaten by Crystal Palace, and now they've been beaten by Tottenham. Cause for concern, or the sort of natural flow of a season?
Well, at the start of the day, we're sort of waxing lyrical about Aston Villa, so it'd be very difficult of us to now say, well, they're having a bad time.
We're a game later, Jamie. The whole world's
that just
turned on
shows
its
you
head.
how football can change and how opinions change so quickly. Look,
They looked very average the second half, didn't they?
They did,
but that's credit to Spurs. Villa were off.
They got after them and they're giving away the pass there when Pau Torres plays one at the midfield, and all of a sudden it starts to unravel very quickly. I think a big moment in that match was Morgan Rogers coming off. They lost a lot because he was carrying the ball. He gives you that outlet. He's such an important player for them. But no, it was a disappointment. Sometimes you can get beat 2-1, 3-1 even, 4-1. It was a bit of a chinning for them, so they've got to bounce back from that very quickly.
Yeah, the way they allowed them to get to that stage was perhaps something that Unai Emery looked like he was desperate to get back and get into that analysis.